All we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.
Welcome back to the Tide Hero Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-02 Light of Peace. This is their second version of a masterpiece Optimus Prime. He does look pretty good. He does a lot of good things, but remember, this is relatively a budget version of Optimus Prime, and he looks pretty good, looks the part. I'm going to tell you what I like about him, don't like about him, and all of that good stuff. But I did get this at Shows. I'm going to leave a link down below where you can get yours. And let's take a look at Light of Peace coming up. Alright, so first off, take a look at the box, and it's kind of a tall box. He comes in bot mode and all that good stuff, and here is the side, the back. So it's pretty much all artwork, so no pictures of the actual product on it, but you do get to see his bios. Thought he was a straight across 10. What's going on here? Okay, so right out of the package, I noticed a few things right away. First of all, his shoulder came broken in the package. It's just the smokestack, so I don't think it's that big of a deal in replacing the part. Whenever I get it, I will show how that's done. Here's the smokestack part that was bouncing around in my box, but anyway, it's not that big of a deal to replace, I don't think. I just gotta wait for a part. Second thing I want to point out is I've been talking about this guy for a month now, and my biggest problem with him was how you kind of have a visible square on his back, and you can see it from pretty much every angle. And in hand, it doesn't bother me as much as the photography did. So that's not really that big of a deal. I just thought it would be off-putting, but in hand, I just don't really notice it. So, and that's weird. It's strange. But when you look at pictures of this for months, and then that keeps catching your eye, but in person, it's not really that bad. The third thing I noticed about it was very, very lightweight, like lighter weight than the 1.0. So we'll be doing comparisons with all of the Optimus Prime masterpieces that are out there that I have. So with that, I did notice it did feel lighter weight even than their first one. So with all of that out of the way, he has a lot of positives. So let's take a quick look at him overall. So we're going to do articulation and just kind of look him over as we go. And so his head side to side, up and down. And that head sculpt, they pretty much nail the head sculpt. It looks fantastic. It does. Getting down here into the matrix chamber, it should just open up and then open up. And so I've had matrix chambers that are hard to open. This one was easy to open. It's a pleasure to open that nice and easy. Fits in there. The matrix looks good and all of that. And then close this bad boy back up. We'll be revisiting that during the transformation. Shoulder goes out to here, and 360 on a soft ratchet, and you have an extreme butterfly, which is good. And then getting down to the bicep swivel, and then we do have double jointed at the elbow, and then splayed fingers that feel pretty okay. They're not the tightest that are out there. They splay, they have 2 points of articulation for each finger and all that kind of stuff. And it works, and it holds for what you need it to do. And it has an in and an out, but not an up and a down. Okay, waist. They are known for whatever you want to do with articulation on the waist. Magic Square has always had that extreme waist articulation, ab crunch, and all that kind of stuff. This is where I kind of get into a bit of an issue. I do like the back metallized chrome, by the way, and it does look good. When you put that leg all the way to the front, right? You have a hiding hip flap, and then you put it back down. Well, it didn't happen this time. Sometimes the hip flap doesn't go with it, which I thought was kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not the end of the world. It goes back only that far. Let's see. Nope, that far. And then out to the side, and then you have thigh swivel, 360, 360 thigh swivel, and then double jointed. So pretty much all the range you would expect to get out of a knee. And you can hear all that hardware sounds good in there. It sounds pretty good. And then I guess he dropped his gun. Okay, going down, you do have a lot of line work and detail going. And this is going for a tune look. So it is super tune, especially with that white and all that stuff going on there. And so that looks good. So the kind of, I guess you could say, chalky look to it. It's not really chalky, but It's not super shiny either, so it's sort of a matte finish. Does kind of lend itself to the tune a bit. So that's vac metalized right here. And then down to the feet, what do they do? Pretty much everything that you'd want them to do. I mean, times 2 because of the transformation, the way it transforms and all that stuff. But he's stable too. That's another thing is you can more or less just pick him up and set him down, and he's going to stand just fine. So he's a pretty good overall figure. Definitely for like a budget 125 option. So he has 2 accessories in his bot mode. He has, of course, his standard gun. I'm surprised his gun doesn't have a special name for it, like some other characters have a name for their gun, but there it is. It probably does, and I just don't know it. There we go. Tabs in like all masteries. Kind of like to leave something out, like he's got the finger on the trigger. If you're going to have all that posability in that hand and the fingers, like why not have something going on with it, I guess. You can do that because the tab holds in just fine. You also have this right here. And so Energy X for one scene. Is it one scene? In one show. And separating. And I'm going to separate it off camera just to be... Oh, I guess I'm not. I want to be careful with this clear plastic. Even if it's new clear plastic, I'm always careful with it. Vintage clear plastic, super careful with it. Just so you know. I'm going to get it in his hand, which his hand has to be configured just right so all of the fingers slide through and all of that. And then we're going to place this on the top. And so I actually like that they did it like this because it's, in my opinion, it's a better way to do it than some of the other options that are out there for putting on an energy axe, but definitely gets the job done. It looks great for one scene with old Megs. So, and it doesn't really look, I mean, you really can't tell that's his hand. It just looks like it's a port that's generating a energy axe or something. But yeah, that works. Those are his accessories. Now it's time to get into comparisons. Okay, so starting out, this is the 1.0 Magic Square. So the very, very, very first one that they ever made came out looking like this, I believe. I believe that's the first one. Or I jumped on the second one, I'm not sure. And then this is the metallic repaint. I was waiting for the metallic repaint for sure, but I'm pretty sure I got this guy right away because I was excited about all these Optimus Primes when they come out. And I will say this, these are a bit heavier, and I guess I should weigh them, but they feel heavier and they feel a little bit more solid than this one. But I think this one, I think it does look better. I mean, I really like the look and aesthetic of this one better, but like 12% better, not like twice as much or anything. So I think that even the old one is still a fantastic option, but yeah, I prefer this more tuned look. All right, so here he is next to, this is the Chrome KO of MP10. I no longer have a loose standard MP10. I've just got the boxed one. And so with that, I guess we're moving along, chugging along to new options. This is the transform element, and I think it looks good. But this one, I still feel like this one is more of what I would like. I never really liked his really thin thighs, although it wasn't as bad in person as pictures. Kind of like his backpack's not as bad in person as pictures. So yeah, with that, there is that comparison. And here he is next to MP44, the KO with the silver legs. And I keep the one with the KO with the white legs in alt mode for alt mode comparisons. And then this is the MP36. So you can see how he stacks up next to MP36, next to MP44, and all of that. So yeah, I think he looks good. I think he holds his own. I think that he appears to have a little bit less stuff going on. Let's go ahead and do a back comparison. Yeah, I do feel like he cleans up better from the back, and so I guess I'll take that wider backpack, which actually turns into the roof of the truck. But yeah, pretty clean. And with a couple of movie bots, 1986 movie bots with, of course, X-Transbots Cup, Fans Toys Hot Rod, and this is the Fans Toys Springer. Now that the X-Transbots Springer is out, the Virtus, the Fans Toys one just gets to hang out in review territory. So good for comparisons though, right? This is actually kind of hard to get all into frame, but this is Takara's new Skyfire and the Fantasy Skyfire, and they're both great options, but just next to Prime, this is what they look like. They're both big, but I'm actually liking the Takara one even more every day. I like the way it looks more and more every day. All right, transformation on this guy. We have a tab over here holding in this. There's the tab. You're going to open that up, and then you're going to open all this up, and then from there, let's go ahead and get this shoulder like this, or the elbow like that. Fold this hand around into this cavity. Fold this piece here out, and then rotate it up. What we're going to do is rotate this down like so, and then this is going to go over here, and we're going to make this whole section, and it's going to more or less go into when we're done here. So kind of get this sort of out of the way for now. Same thing on this side. So we're going to untab this tab, open it down here, fold in the hand. This should be the easy part. Get this tab here out, and then do some rotating and rotating to get it all to line up, and let's get that just right. Everything's got to be at the right angle, correct angle, so that it looks right. All right, let's see. I think that looks pretty good for now. We're going to kind of leave it, and we're going to move on. So now we're going to basically explode this guy on the top, and that's how it's going to work. Pulling this out, pulling this stuff here down, undo the backpack so we can get to all of this good stuff. Pull that down, pull that down, and then this is going to come out. All right, let's back that up a little bit. All right, explode it all up. And a few things are going to need to happen. We are going to flip these around so that they're ready to close in on their new look. We can go ahead and just kind of do that right now, get that out of the way. This is going to rotate, and that's going to come down like so. This stuff here is going to rotate around, and then we're going to create all the new pieces from it. And this is going to go into place like this, sort of. Same thing on the other side. We are going to rotate this assembly around, and then doesn't feel like they've reinvented the wheel here. It feels like a lot of very similar stuff we've seen before in Prime transformations. Flip this open, and you're starting to see a cab come in to place here. So it's starting to work, starting to come together overall. Let me get him in a good spot here. Okay, starting to look kind of crazy here. So let's start tightening this all up. So first of all, there's a slot and a tab, and you want to slide that over like so, and line that up. So this is going to give it some stability, and this really does kind of hold it all together, which is pretty nice that they've got it like that. Then you do really pretty much the same thing on the inside area here, and so that's nice and tight, and that really holds it together really well. And then we get into the arms. this piece here folds down. The head's going to fold back. And so we can go ahead and get that knocked out right now. And then we get over here to the arms. Now, you are going to have to do a little bit of kind of manipulating the arms in here. Not too much, but there we go. And then same thing on the other side. Get over here. Make sure that door's open, which is door doesn't really do anything, which does kind of suck. And get that tab kind of went in on me. All right. We still have a bit more to go with this guy. So from the back, yeah, you turn his head around. That's, I think, going to make it fit better. And there it goes. And this goes over. Up, clear that piece there. And get to go over the top. Clipping it all in. And we'll tighten it up, of course, here in just a bit. But the rest of the backpack, it's going to flip around. Kind of went off screen a bit. We fold in these pieces. And then we're going to take it down, and it's going to tab into right there. So that's nice. That's good. And everything's looking pretty good so far. This is loose on me. So, all right, now we're going to get into the legs. And with that, there's this notch. And then this is going to come down, and you fold the... I don't know why that's hanging up, but you fold this around and it's going to notch in to that, which is really cool, to give it some more strength and support. Okay, we're gonna have to readjust this, get down here to the legs. So there's a lot going on with the legs. So start off, we're gonna flip these up just so we don't forget, because it's something that needs to get done. And we're gonna, from here, we're gonna do one leg at a time. Try to stay on the camera there. So we're going to open up the legs, this piece here, and untab it from that piece there. And so this is going to come up, and we're going to have a whole lot going on with this. So let's take care of the foot first, just get it out of the way. All right, we're going to fold this over and then this up, and then we have the lights showing and all of that good stuff. And then we're going to get this to go down and around, and at the same time we got to pull this stuff here out, and that's going to all come around. And then this is on a slider, and it's going to slide. Let's see if we can go under with it. It's got to clear that mechanism, and it's got to clear that mechanism all at the same time. And then I'm probably not making it look pretty, but there we go. And then it's going to cover this, and it's going to tab to this. And now it's starting to look pretty. And then we have to take care of this. So we're going to fold the small one down first, big one down second, and then we're going to collapse it down. And it makes for a nice, clean look. And I think I might have that backwards. Yeah, that's backwards. Okay, so say what you want about Magic Square transformations, but the way the parts work, you can kind of flip it around, and I don't really feel like I'm going to break anything with it. Fold that in. That's how it's supposed to look. But that's kind of a good thing in a way. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, they don't like the way the joints feel and stuff, but I think that's fine. All right, so now let's get to the other one, the other leg. Fumble with it. This comes open. Open up this. Now this was actually really hard once I first got it to get this to align in and tab in properly, and now it's not wanting to untab. Okay, that all opens up, kind of explodes. We have to get this part here up and out of it. This is going to fold down and up, And then this is going to come out and fold around. Get this folded in like so. And then this to slide out on a slider. And then we're going to unfurl all this good stuff. And then slide it around. I found it's easier to slide it downward and around. And we're not going to tab that one in just yet because we have a lot more to do. So with the heel, let's go ahead and get the flip this around. And then fold this under. And then bring this up like so. And bring this down. Tab all this in. We do want to tab this tab here in. It's like it's not wanting to go. It's right here. All right, well, there's a tab right here, and it looks like it's kind of hard to get to tab it. The two legs together, it's kind of an under and over kind of situation, and it's like something you have to take it apart a bit to tab it together. Just pressing it in like that. Got it. Okay, that got that one together, and pretty much almost done here. Like, we have to tab this tab in here, then we have to kind of go around to each little tab and just make sure everything is tabbed in all the way, and we will be done with the transformation. So looking at the alt mode, it's not a bad looking alt mode overall. You can pull this smokestack up if you want a little higher smokestack on it. I think they lower it for clearance on a couple of steps there, but overall very clean, very sort of tune accurate alt mode, and that's nice. It looks really good. It's got an additional feature you can clip in. We'll clip in the connection points here in a bit. Now, as I went around this, just kind of tightening things up, just squeezing in this area here and all that, I found that there's stuff that tabbed in better that I just didn't know were tabs that needed to tab in. So going back, you're gonna have to untab all that, but nice chrome on this, and I like how you hide the smaller, you do a mass shifting with hiding the smaller gas tank by a bigger gas tank. That's fun. It's good. And chrome on the wheels and right here and all the way around, and then we have some chrome looking front headlights, and we have some transparent blue, transparent yellowish, and from the bottom looking pretty clean. Overall, these still kind of move around a bit. They're not super solid and in place, but when we compare it to MP44, which is really the only other one I keep in alt mode, you're gonna see how clean this is. It actually cleans up better than MP44. But let's go ahead and get into the two accessories that go with alt mode. So we have two trailer hitches. So one's for MP44, one's for MP10. And I don't have either one of them available to clip on, but I do have these to clip on to show. I don't know. I got rid of my loose MP40 or MP10. That tabs in nice and easy too. By the way, it holds fine. But I don't have, and my MP44 one's just packed up in the box. I don't really want to get that out. That is a serious pain in the butt to dig that out. So it's one of those things that I don't have the space to display a trailer. Now, a lot of people really are excited about trailers. I understand that, and they have room for their display. But in my MP display, I don't got room for that. They have been nice. They get the job done. And that's the aesthetic with the trailer. I actually think if you display it in alt mode, you need to have one of these plugged in, because it looked really bland for a bit there. So we're going to leave one of them plugged in while we do some comparisons. Okay, so this is a KO MP44 versus the Magic Square, which you can see looks a lot cleaner than the MP44 overall. But you might want to say it's not fair to compare a KO MP44, not the official, to this. But these live in the same price point, so I think this is a more accurate comparison than comparing it to an official. Plus, I'm certainly not transferring my official again, so it's... But from the side, that's how they look. And much, much cleaner design, of course. You do have opening doors, which this is a door to nothing. This is like what you'd see in like Bugs Bunny. You open a door to like a brick wall. You open this up and you got a tiny little space. You could actually put a figure in. So that's a win on that one, but I don't know. It just depends on what you think. These are super floppy. This is a lot more solid. Now I could fix that up myself, but this is straight out the box, kind of floppy. The back end, coming down the back end, and let's adjust this just a bit. You can see how clean that is. So that looks nice. Looks really nice. That's always been a mess. And that's kind of a complaint we've been getting from Takara. I don't want to say lately, because the last few I haven't had that issue. But I guess you could say even with Skyfire, the alt mode was a bit kibbly on the side, but not the back. So here it is, showing exactly how clean this is. Of course, the most stacks were fine on the KO of Takara's MP44. And there it is. So let's look at some other comparisons. There goes X-Transbot's Cup, and then this is Takara's Hot Rod, and the KO oversize of the Thrilling 30. And I don't know why doing this comparison. I just thought, is there weapon storage right there? I don't know if that's supposed to be, but it sure does look like it's supposed to kind of store his gun if he doesn't haul a trailer. I've said this before, but 80% of the Masterpiece Transformers today are basically replacement items. So you can put your favorite one in your display, and then you can have alt modes for, well, you can display alt modes too. But this is MMC. I have it for comparisons. And then, of course, the Fans Toys 2.0 Spindrift. That's how they look. All right, that's my look at the Magic Square Light of Peace MS-02, the second take on a Masterpiece Optimus Prime. They need to give us a Megatron. They really do. They really need to do the Megatron because no one else is going to. So I think it's a pretty solid option for a $125 price point, around that price. I'm not sure if price gone up or down, but for a relatively budget option, it costs the same as the KO of the MP44, but this is not even a KO, it's their own design, and I think it looks pretty good in all modes. Has a great level of articulation. The backpack is not as much of an eyesore as I kind of thought it would be, but I did have a broken smokestack coming out of the box, and I did feel like it's kind of lightweight. But those are really the only major issues that I found with this guy, aside from all of that. He looks fantastic. He looks the part. He looks cartoon, which is, I like the cartoon look. He still has the back metallized elements and all that kind of stuff in there. So I did get this at Shows. You'll have a link down below where you can get yours. Remember to put in the TH, support your reviewer code if you want to when you go to Show Z. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this guy. Tydirium Hanger out.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? Fall, fall!